Hey everyone, it's Shot back at another video, and as you can see, we are not on any of my accounts. We are actually on Burton's account today. Now, I haven't been doing account takeovers in a little while because I wanted to stay clear of it because of the recent Discord update in regards to policy. Now, nothing really has changed, but I just wanted to make sure everything was still good to go, and we are. So we're back on some account takeovers, and today we're going to help Burton clear Queen 12. Now, Queen 12 here is actually gotten a lot more difficult since the previous patch, and the reason for that is water prison. So I wouldn't say it's like crazy amount more difficult, but because we can only remove one positive effect with water prison here, we cannot clear off the whole mass buffs that the queen actually has. So what you really want to do here is actually you're probably going to want to go right add into left add. And the reason for that is the left add is going to apply that shield, and so it's going to be a lot longer for you to clear out queen, because they're going to constantly apply that shield. She's going to have a ton of buffs on, so it changes things quite a bit. It also changes the minimum focus that you'll want, because she can apply resistance up to herself. So getting to, you know, the 70s, 80s, 90% are going to be much more valuable now. So you can see that team we're using: Evra, Mythesia, Santis, Hakrin. We're going to have to change that up completely. We're going to try to clear Queen 12 for the first time today, or consistently clear it at least. He's already cleared it once. So if you enjoy the account takeovers, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and also if you want your own account takeover, be sure to let me know by messaging me in Discord. All the links are in the description down below. So what squads do we have here? What characters do we have? We're working with only a few. It's pretty earlier on into the account. We do have EFD here, but I'm not going to be using her, even though despite her buffs. I'm looking at Mythesia, Santis. We have Valuk down here. Where are the glyphs at? We have legendary glyphs on Valuk here. We have Hakrin, double ascended. So we have max ascended Santis. We have Hakrin here. We have Valuk. We have Mythesia. I think we could put up a comp together. The only difficult part is because we have max ascended Santis, we have an additional 20% base attack, which is actually going to make it difficult for Hakrin at 5 stars to have more attack than Santis here. And so like a glyph like this, the wild blood glyph, actually could be very important in regards to getting Hakrin above Santis's max or base attack, which is pretty crazy. So we're going to work on that, but we're first going to de-gear everyone, forego the damage dealers because we don't really care about them, but I'm going to come back once we have everyone de-geared. All right, so as I was going through, I noticed that we had a lot of sets, like curse set and stuff. I have a feeling that that's one of the reasons why we're not beating Queen 12, because we're focusing a lot on sets, specifically these cursed pieces and such. Let's just see real quick how many gear charms we have. So we have a few. We don't have a crazy amount, so this might be a little bit more difficult. But we're going to go ahead and just see. First off is going to be the HP percent boots. And we're going to start with Santis here because we need to know how much attack she ends up with before we move on to someone like Hakrin, for example. So let's see here. We're going to want focus. We're going to want HP percent. We're going to try to avoid getting a lot of attack on her because she's already so high on attack. This one has attack in the sub. This one has revival. Let's see, we want HP percent over here as well. That one has attack, so maybe we don't want to use that, but I mean, it is a 6-star piece, so I'm kind of interested in using that for sure. Let's see here, and then we're going to want health percent or focus percent on the subs over here. This one has attack percentage. We're probably not going to want to run that. This one also has attack percentage. I'm not super into running any of those pieces. What about focus over here? This one's a great piece. This one's 12.5% focus. We actually may just stumble upon a curse set here just on accident. This one has 16% focus. Let's go ahead and run that. And then we're going to go look for HP percent. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this one. It's a 6-star piece. We're not going to be using these 3-star pieces anymore, but we may use, we're not going to use 4-star crit damage pieces either. We are really low on actual gear here, which could be a little concerning. We rolled crit damage and resistance. That's fine. Let's just see where we're at. 56% focus is still on the low side of things. Do we have any pieces that are equipped here that could be super useful? Maybe. What about like HP percentage here? I don't really want to use a 6-star piece on Santis because it'll make it very difficult for us to get the proper attack on our Hakrin. So I'm going to not do that. This one has defense. This will give us a curse set. It's a 5-star piece at +9. We're still at 56.5% focus, but I think overall that's going to be fine. We may have to upgrade this ring a little bit more and maybe the neck because we're still a little low on HP, but that should be all right. We have decently low attack here, which will make building out our Hakrin much easier. And I have a feeling that's one of the reasons why we were failing quite often is because Santis had quite high attack. Hakrin's going to be next, so we can figure out how much defense we actually need. I'm just going to run this one. It's already upgraded. We have defense percentage here. This one's already upgraded as well. Nice. And then we are going to go defense percentage here. Again, these are 6-star defense pieces, and that's really all we want. Then we're going to go defense percentage, hopefully on the secondary stat here. Okay, this one is really looking good. And let's just go ahead and take this to +9 really quick. Probably not going to be using this piece, so take it +9. Hopefully roll defense percentage. We roll flat HP. That's actually good too. We're at 1300 attack. We're still going to need a little bit more attack, but hopefully we can get it accidentally here. This one has a lot of HP, a lot of defense. We may need that on Hakrin. We may not. But this one is a Terra set. What is it looking like over here for defense percentage? Not super great, but we do have, let's just see here. Let's go back to our helmet and see what we got. This one is attack. What about these? What about this one here? This one's a warrior set. We could get a warrior set, perhaps. So let's upgrade this one and see if it rolls into that defense percentage. Hopefully we roll that defense percentage. Flat defense is actually not bad either. I'm okay with that. Rolled resistance percentage. This is not bad. We can take that to +9. Hopefully it rolls defense percentage now. Roll flat defense again. That's fine. And then we can start running a warrior set here to make sure that we're getting the proper attack. This one has attack in the subsets as well. I'm going to run this one just because we may want a little bit extra attack here. So we're going to go to +9. Rolled flat attack, defense percentage. This is as good as we could ask for. Almost 2,500 defense. A little low on the HP. We may need to run some more HP gear, but that's okay. We're at 1,500 attack here. Let's see what our Santis is at, just to make sure we have our Hakrin above our Santis. Okay, 1450. So Santis could have a much better build, but the problem here is that we really need to make sure we're not stacking a bunch of attack, because if Santis has the highest attack, it's going to be really difficult for us to win this battle. Next up is going to be Mythesia. Let's go ahead and put her in a bunch of HP percentage gear. So let's see. What are our glyphs at? These look like, yeah, that's what I thought. Level 4 glyphs. It looked like her stats were a little lower than I'm used to. So let's go HP percent. And preferably 6-star pieces. So let's just see here. HP percent. Probably going to want to run the Terra set. This one's flat HP as well, but I think we have a couple Terra pieces. So let's just see here. This one's already +9. I'm gonna use that one. Actually, we have a Valuk, so we're gonna have to upgrade another HP percent piece anyways, unless we have a really good defense percentage piece over here. We don't really, so we're gonna want to upgrade this one anyways. So let's upgrade it now, because if it rolls a couple of flat HPs here, it could be very valuable on Mythesia here. It rolled once into flat HP. Let's go ahead and use that, and then we're gonna go HP percentage over here. We do have that Terra set, like I was mentioning, but this one has 13% HP. This one we might want to run on Valuk here. Let's just see if how many Terra sets we actually have. This one is a Terra set. I'm inclined to go ahead and use that one here. And then this one is 19% HP. Okay, that's excellent. And then this one, we're going to go HP percent here as well. And we're going to go ahead and run this. That gives us a Vanguard set there. And then we're going to want HP percent here. Hopefully this one of these has some decent HP percentage. This one's a Terra set with high defense. Do we happen to have another HP percent Terra piece here? Let's see. Okay, so we could run this one, but this one's just better. This curse piece is better. So we're going to run that. And then we're going to make sure... Let's see. Do we have any, like... maybe we can go with a higher star level piece here. I think we're going to want to use that one on Valuk, to be honest. But maybe we can run this instead. Actually, let's go with that, and let's upgrade this one to +12. We're going to want to upgrade this one to plus 12 anyways because it's so good. Actually, this rolled super excellent. This is a great piece. Hopefully it rolls. Okay, rolled crit rate, but that's okay. Let's just use that on Mythesia here because we do want her to have as much HP as possible. She's healing as much as possible. And then we're going to move on to Valuk here. And Valuk has legendary glyphs. I think I mentioned that earlier, but just check here. HP percent, this is a Raptor set. It's got focus in the substats. So let's go ahead and drop that on him. HP percent here. This is the only HP percent piece we have left. HP percent here. That's pretty much all we have in regards to HP percent. Do we have any like defense pieces that are really solid? Not really. So we're going to have to go with these 5-star pieces. Should be okay. We're going to go with this one. It's going to get that Raptor set, which is nice. And it has some really, really solid stats here. And then we're going to look for focus here. As much focus as we can get. This one has some solid stats. Let's just see. Do we have any focus pieces over here? This one is 9%. Okay. Well, I guess it depends really on how this helmet rolls. So we're going to roll this one first. If we get quite unlucky here, let's just see. Roll focus. Okay. Let's take this to +9. Hopefully another focus roll. Roll flat defense. Because we can run one of these, right? And get a Raptor set, which could be the best way to go about this. It rolled focus. I normally don't say go for stats, or don't go for sets, but because of the fact that these sets will actually provide us just more bonuses overall, I think this is worth it. So this is 65% focus. Really low on HP, to be honest, but that should be okay. And the reason why I say that is because Mythesia has Revive, right? So Mythesia makes this interesting because we can absolutely run this. And we do have a Ascension 5 on Santis, so we should be safe there. I'm going to upgrade this one a little bit more because, let's see here. We're not going to use flat HP anymore, so let's just dump that into this ring. Santis is the one that really needs to survive. No more flat stats. Let's upgrade this one a little bit more because we do want to get Santis to a healthy amount. Flat HP is the perfect roll. And we're at 17k HP now, so let's go ahead and run this and see how we do. I almost wonder if we're going to need to finish off those glyphs. I think we will, but let's try this. We're going to take out Evra. We're going to put in Valuk here. And we're not going to run defense down. We're going to be running Water Prison still. It's not as good, not nearly as good, but it's still really good and definitely worth bringing because it's not just good for the boss. It still stuns those waves, which will help you remain more consistent. So we're going to go ahead and just play this out. Our Santis is a little faster than our Valuk, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. And we're just going to let this play out. We're actually going to go ahead and keep the skills on Santis, especially with the Ascension 2. We're going to apply so many poisons that the duplication from one target to another is actually really good because we're hitting both ads and the boss. And then on top of that, the ability to extend the poisons is going to be really solid because we're applying so many. So definitely want to keep the abilities on here. And as soon as we get through this first couple of waves, I think we should be pretty set on the boss because we'll have those stacks of max HP. So really it's all about this first wave. And as soon as we kill off the first couple of crabs, I'm not too worried about it. So you can see how hard they're hitting already though. It's pretty crazy. Unfortunately, Hakrin is just going to one-shot them. But I'm going to let this play out and I will return when we get to the boss fight and see how hard the queen boss is hitting because this should be good. But for maximum consistency, definitely want to work on finishing off the glyphs on Mythesia because we're missing out a lot of HP, which is a lot of heals from Mythesia. So gonna go ahead and jump to the boss and see how we fare. So we're on the boss fight here and we are targeting the right into the left ad. Make sure we're getting rid of those shields and heals. We do have the abilities on Santis still, and you can see how many poisons we're stacking, and you can see that we are getting the stun right on where we want it, which is Hakrin. Valuk takes quite a bit of damage right now, and Mythesia isn't quite healing quite enough, I think. So one easy thing that we could do to make this team much more consistent, getting those couple of defensive glyphs on Valuk, getting Mythesia's glyphs up a little bit higher, and of course, upgrading some gear. But this looks pretty decent, and I think because of the fact that we have Mythesia on this squad, we can lose a couple characters and be completely fine. Especially since we also have Ascension 5 Santis. That's huge. So getting Mythesia herself, just the tankiest you can possibly get her so she never dies, as well as Hakrin. Then if Santis dies, if Valuk dies, you can die a couple times, revive them, and then periodically kill some of the characters. So like once we get the right or the left crab out, the whole fight becomes significantly easier. Not to mention, when you kill one of those crabs, it removes all the buffs off the queen, so she's doing less damage on top of not getting those joint attacks, like you see there. So now we're gonna hit the left ad, and we're gonna hit the boss, and this one should be a success. I'm not too worried about it. Again, we do have that Mythesia here, and when you have Mythesia, it makes queen much easier to build for, because you don't need to stack a whole buttload of stats to make sure that for that one circumstance when all of the crabs hit that singular character, they die. In this case, because you have Mythesia, she can just revive that character, so it kind of removes that type of loss. So really, you just need to make sure that your Mythesia is living and you don't lose to time. Because you can lose to time if your Mythesia is reviving constantly, because you're not applying the poisons when they're dead. So this looks like a success. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead a little while because I think it will last for another couple minutes. So here we are. It's going to be a success. Like I said, I wasn't too worried about it because we have that Mythesia. It's also important to note that because we're killing the right and left ad, Santis' abilities, her AoEs, her duplication of poisons are significantly more valuable. So it actually might be worth to run Santis' with abilities on nowadays, even if you're not running a double poisoner, because of how many the ads we actually have to kill. And there we go. And I think it's pretty successful and consistent. I am not too worried about it. Again, the one thing I would suggest is getting those glyphs up to at least legendary level. I believe Mythesia has 2 HP glyphs, which means another 1200 HP there. She is missing defense, which is huge. The attack and the speed don't really matter too much, but then she's going to get another 500 HP here just from leveling up to legendary. She's missing out on like 1700 HP, which is quite a bunch of HP. And also Valuk down here doesn't have the defensive glyphs, and he has quite a few defensive glyphs with defense and the HP, so there's 600 HP, 100 defense. And then of course we have Hakrin's glyphs. Let's just check here yet again. Okay, we're missing the other 600 HP there. And then also with Santis, I think she has all the glyphs that she needs. Yeah, okay, she has all the glyphs she needs. So we're missing quite a bit of actual stats from our glyphs, which is pretty nice to know because it's much harder to upgrade gear than it is to upgrade glyphs. But I think that's going to be it. I didn't really have anything else for Burton to do. He's out of diamonds completely, really close to out of gear charms. But I think that's going to be a consistent run. I would recommend him to just farm out some glyphs and then come back to Queen 12 and see how consistent it is if he ends up failing at all. So hopefully you all enjoyed. And again, if you do like these account takeovers, try to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you for the next one.